And welcome back to Comic Frontline, everybody. My name is Brant Fowler, aka the Gonzogoose, and I'm back with you for another important comic review. This time I'm talking Spider-Man issue number 9, Civil War II tie-in. Now, I know a lot of people have had mixed feelings about this, but actually before I get to that, let me say, written by Brian Michael Bendis, art by Nico Leon, colors by Marte Gracia, letters by VC's Corey Petit, covers by Sarah Pichelli and Jason Keith. So I know there's a lot of mixed feelings about this title, especially here on Comic Frontline, and I've been kind of the single champion of this title since it launched, and nobody feels like it's really Miles, and a lot of things haven't happened with Miles to further his character and his personal story. And I do agree with that, and I realize that right now it's tied up with all the Civil War II stuff, but this particular issue stood out to me for a couple of reasons. Now, we get very little of Miles in the book, which is one of the major complaints about it, and I understand that. But there's a reason for it this time, and it kind of makes sense, and they kind of tie it all together. So, first of all, the art, really, really well done in this book. Nico Leon, I'm not familiar with their work from the past. I don't know what else they've worked on, but fantastic art throughout. There's some really nice close-up shots. There's one where Genk, I really don't know how to pronounce his name. He's kind of crushing on a girl, and she catches him looking at her, and he turns to the camera, to facing us with this big cheesy smile. I don't know what you're talking about. Nothing at all. It was beautifully done, but there's some nice subtle close-up shots too, and the posing, the panel layouts, everything was really well done here. There's a scene where Nova and Miss Marvel have broken into Miles' apartment, and they're caught by his dad, and they just kind of freeze, and it's just like there's a lot of humor aspects of this book, and it really comes through in the art, but there's a lot of serious moments too, and that also comes through the art. So I have to say the art was really beautiful in this book. Coloring was fantastic. The writing was very solid for the most part. Now, basically what's going on in this particular issue is that Miles has gone missing, and nobody knows where he is. And we know from Civil War II, and they reference that here, that the Inhuman, man, his name is escaping me. Anyway, he has the vision of Miles beating down Captain America, and Miles is really torn up by this. So Miles is missing after that vision takes place, and nobody knows how to find him. Nova and Miss Marvel have broken into his apartment, trying to break into his computer, which is password protected. That's why they're there, trying to find answers. Genk has gone to the girl that has been web streaming, Spider-Man sightings. And he's gone to her for help, and he's protecting his identity, and it's cute the way she keeps trying to get information out of him, like what his name is, what school they go to, and he's like, nice try. And it's really well done, the playfulness between the two of them. But you can see that he's passionate about finding his friend, and she's passionate about finding him because she's a big fan, and there's just this cute chemistry between these two characters that is really played out nicely here. And there's she references Nova, how she just doesn't like that. You can just tell what she says. And Miss Marvel is as cute as can be, and they're all trying to find her. And Miles' dad gets into the picture, and he's like, he doesn't understand what's going on. He gets filled in, and so he goes to S.H.I.E.L.D, and they don't know where he's at, and all this stuff, and it ends up with him on the steps of the White House or Capitol Hill. And that's kind of how it ends, and it continues into the final issue. Well, what was going to be the final issue of Civil War II, issue 7 of Civil War II. And so that's kind of how it ends. But that's the build-up, and the reason that I enjoyed this issue is because it played up all the supporting characters. Yes, you got very little Miles. Miles is out doing his own thing. He's in like 2 panels of the whole book. I get it. I get the arguments, the complaints about it. But I think his supporting cast really shined here. This whole relationship he's built with Nova and Miss Marvel, the fact that they're that passionate about protecting him and finding him and keeping him safe, that they would break into his apartment and do this, and confide in his dad and all this stuff. And Genk, how how supportive he is, how tight he is with Miles. He would, you know, go to the most unlikely source and you know, try to elicit her help for finding him. And it made all these characters shine and pop, and it showed you why they are his adopted family, these three kids in particular, and his dad. So I really appreciated the way they fleshed out those characters and their reactions to this whole thing. It was a really good Civil War II tie-in, in my opinion, for the way it all came together. The only thing I had a problem with was there was a War Machine type character that flew by, and I wasn't sure if that was supposed to be Doctor Doom, if it was supposed to be Riri before Invincible Iron Man with her armor, because we've seen her in the gray armor in other promo shots and stuff. I wasn't clear on who that character was. So I mean, that was maybe a tiny little plot hole there, because it looked a lot like Rhodey War Machine, which we know that's not possible. But then continuity and all that has been crazy with Marvel lately, because Civil War II has been behind a little bit. So that aside, it was a tiny little nitpick, and you know, of course, Miles not being there, but the plot of him missing kind of feeds into that being okay for this issue at the very least. So I thought it was a very solid issue, very good Civil War II tie-in, which we haven't had a lot of those. So I appreciate it, and I'm going to give this one a 4.5 out of 5 for Spider-Man number 9. If you liked it, please hit the like button. If you didn't like my review, hit that thumbs down. I don't care. Your opinion. And leave comments below. Let me know what you thought of the issue. I'd love to hear your thoughts, to see if you agreed, disagreed, what you liked or didn't like about the book. Check out all the other reviews here on Comic Frontline. I had one other review go up this week, Harbinger Renegade number 1. Go check that out. And tune in Dark Avenger Live this Friday night. Lisa and I will be on, as she will be live inking Celestial Falcon from Last Ember Press. Check out lastemberpress.com, zone4podcast.com. New episode of Zone 4 next Friday, and the live show on Tuesdays, 9:30-ish p.m. Eastern Time. So until next time, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.